I look rough, just the way your mother likes it, Trebek. I was like about to start and realized that I left my palette downstairs. And then, so I went down and I was like, oh, I'll make coffee and then get my palette. And I got my coffee, but I forgot the palette. So that's a lot of stairs for the morning. But I got my coffee and I got my palette. So I think today I'm going to do a palette bingo. I put it out to Instagram asking if people would be interested in watching, and I got a really good response, so figured why not. So I will also link below. I did a first impressions with 2 looks with this palette. I really enjoy it so far. I've enjoyed both looks that I've created. I'll post those up here. So my first look, I just really dove in with the yellows, greens. I think I used the blue shimmer as well. My second look, I kind of stuck over here, a little here, and just did a really kind of smoky, plummy halo eye. And both looks I really enjoyed. I know I have a couple other looks in mind, but I think for today I'm going to do a palette bingo. The first palette bingo ever that I did was with the Nomad Iceland palette, so it seems fitting. So I have a number generator pulled up on my phone that will help decide what we're gonna do today. I think I typically do 5 shades because I like to have, you know, decent variety on the lid, and then something on the lower lash line, hopefully something bright for the inner corner. But I'm just gonna number from 1 to 15 and let's start generating numbers. All right, first up is 11. That is kind of the reddish shade called Giant Redwoods. So I'm just gonna swatch these on my hand as I go. So there's that one. All right, let's generate again. All right, 14. So that is the Narrows. Okay, so far so good. Those go together. Oh, that's so shimmery and pretty. I could do a look with just these 2 probably. All right, next up, 2. All right, so I got another shimmer, the yellow shimmer. The thing with this palette is it is very shimmer heavy. I'm more of a matte lover than anything. All right, I love that yellow shimmer though. It has a pink shift to it. So from some angles it's yellow, some it's pink. But those still go together, so I feel good about that. All right, so let's generate again. 4. So 4 is the blue shimmer, Acadia Lighthouse. Again, a beautiful shade. All right, now I'm kind of stumped. All right, and let's generate one more time. 3. So 3 is the bright matte green. Okay, so here is what we are working with. I'm glad I got another matte, but I would have preferred probably the yellow or the plum or the brown, really any matte other than that one to go with this look. I'm excited to dip into a couple of shades that I haven't really used, but there's our colors for today. All right, so before I get started with this look, I'm gonna go off camera, just fill in my brows, prime my eyes, and I'll be back. Well, I woke up super early to do this because we have a day of like gardening and my husband's birthday celebration, so I wanted to get this done, but waking up early hits different when you know that like you don't have to work for a while. So yay summer. All right, so let's dive in. I already wiped off my hand. I did take a picture, maybe I'll try to put that in the corner, like of the colors that I'm using. But I'm really puzzled with how to kind of pair those mattes together. I think I'm gonna start with the Giant Redwoods shade, because I haven't used that shade yet, and just start to build that up in the crease and the outer corner. That really is the deepest matte that I have today. So let's see what happens. It is a really pretty tone. So trying to think of like what direction they could take the brand. I know they're kind of taking a break from focusing on other cultures just because of some of the backlash with the Shanghai palette. So I think this was a really fun direction to go, but it could be fun to do like a regional US, like a Midwest, a Southwest, a Northeast, all that jazz. I suppose going by states would kind of feel like what Peachy Queen has been doing. Okay, it's kind of fun. So that's the start of that. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate the blue in there too. I think I'm going to grab the green and just kind of pop it. We'll see. This is going to be very experimental, but maybe just a little pop right there. I don't want it to be too much of a focus. But I mean, the greens are definitely what pulled me in with this palette. I mean, I do a lot of greens. Green, and I guess it's not really red, it's kind of a brownish ruddy red orange. I don't know. So I'm going to try to build that red up a little more just to get a little more depth and definition. Not loving this so far, but hopefully a trust the process situation. What do I do with that blue though? So I'm going to dive into the blue and just kind of start to put that on the lid. I'm not even going to use a glitter primer. These shimmers do a pretty nice job of staying in place. Oh, that's such a pretty shade. I just don't know if it goes with this look. Alright, I'm just going to take it about that far. Oh, that shimmer is so pretty. Okay, again, pretty shade, maybe not with this look. Okay. Again, another really pretty shade, and I'm going to pop that out here. So kind of meld those together and pull this out here. Well, this is kind of a hodgepodge. And then I guess I'll pull the yellow shimmer kind of on the inner corner and pull it through maybe? Okay, this is looking interesting. I feel like this shimmer has kind of some pink shift to it as well, just like the yellow. Okay. Oh, that green is just so out of place though. I'm gonna just take like an empty brush and try to buff those edges a little bit. Just so it's not as harsh looking. Yeah, I feel like everything would work together great if I hadn't gotten that green. Maybe I can pull the blue shimmer up a little more to kind of cover it. Alright, trust the process, please. I am getting a ton of fallout. Is fine because I always do my eyes before my face. When you have kind of softer formulas, I tend to think that they look better on the eye, but you will get fallout. It's not a big deal to me because I wait to do my face until I'm done with my eyes, but alright, that's where we're at right now. I am gonna go back into the redwood shade and just try to kind of reestablish that out here. Just build it back up, kind of blend it in with that shimmer. Kind of want that to be the star. I'm gonna drag it into the green. Of course it's gonna kind of get muddy with green because that's what red and green do together. But at least you can still see the pop of green. I just don't want it to be too much of a standout shock. This is interesting. But I like palette bingos because it totally like pulls me out of my comfort zone and makes me pair colors together that I never would have thought. I probably never would have put the blue with the red and the red with the green. You know, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of the yellow and just pop it right in between those two. Almost like a bit of a little halo center shine effect. I don't think you can really tell that that's there. Yeah, that's something. But have I used every shade now? I've used every shade, so that's fun. I think I'm gonna stop there with this look. I'm gonna go off camera and do all of my face products, and I'll be back to finish up with those eyeshadows. All right, so I went in with my face products. I'm just gonna add a little more blush. I'm going in with Becca. It's the Maui Nights bronzer, but I use it as a blush. I felt like the tone went with the look today. So I've been kind of bummed out because I'm really into the new Fenty Eavesdrop skin tint. It's beautiful. It wears perfectly under a mask. Like I barely get any lift up at all, but they are out of my shade. So the other day in my other Nomad video for my second look, I think I used the Uoma foundation that I also love, but it just didn't wear great under a mask. But putting it on made it very clear that is a winter shade, and I have been out in the sun a little bit, so I looked quite ghostly. But then I was reminded I do have my old favorite Estee Lauder Futurist Hydro Rescue. It's a long name, but this has added SPF in it. I stopped using this because it didn't wear well under a mask. Like, it is a very moisturizing foundation, but it looked beautiful, it wore beautifully, unless I had to wear a mask, which for the last year, we've been wearing masks. And I have a job where I have to wear a mask all day long. Even once the mask mandate was lifted, I was still having to wear a mask all day as a teacher. But it is summer. I am not going to work for a while, so I pulled this back out and I am just reminded how much I love this. So I'm not as sad that the Fenty is out of my shade. I'm just reminded how beautiful this looks on the skin. So, and some added SPF, which is great. Then I went in with the rest of my products and with some other favorites, the Patrick Ta bronzer, my Rare Beauty concealer. But this eye look feels a little clowny. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, so I'm not quite sure about this look, but I think I'm gonna do blue on the waterline and then pull some red under. I don't know, who knows. But I'm gonna grab the shade DTLA from ColourPop and pop this in the waterline. I'll probably cut this out. All right, I'm gonna grab just a flat packing brush and I'm gonna pick up the Redwood shade and just pop that down here. I feel like I don't mind this other than that pop of green, and I don't even know how well that shows on the camera, but that shade kind of threw me for a loop. So I guess I didn't really feature it too much, but I mean, you can see it. It's not like I buried it and hid it. All right, so that's where we're at. So now I'm gonna dive into the shimmery yellow, which I know I popped a little bit on, you can't really tell, but I'm gonna grab it. I have like a little bit of hard pan on it. That's fine. And I'm gonna pop this in here, the inner corner, and then I'm gonna drag it under just a little bit. Or much more than I planned. Yeah, I feel like the warm tones, like the red and that shimmer plus the yellow, I think those three shades could have made a really pretty look. Maybe with like the brown matte added in. So maybe that'll be like the next look I do, just a little simpler. All right, so I think you can see the yellow. So I think you can see all the shades now. I'm gonna stop here. So I'm gonna go off camera, add some liner, mascara, maybe some lashes to try to cover up this mess, and I'll be back. All right, so I'm back with the finished look. Every single palette bingo I've done, I've ended up with really interesting looks. I'll link them below. I've done one with the Nomad Iceland palette and then with the Moira Garden of My Mind palette. I don't hate it. I feel like once you add a lash, most looks can be passable, but it's okay. I mean, I love how the shadows perform and I don't hate it. It is fun to do these palette bingos because you just pair things together that you normally wouldn't. For lips, I went in with a MAC lipstick. I thought that it matched well with that kind of redwood shade. So this is the Powder Kiss formula, which I love, in the shade Devoted to Chili. So just a nice kind of orangey red. For lashes, I went in with the ColourPop Bambi lashes. They are my favorite lash right now. I just think they're really fluffy and pretty. I like the different length lashes. It doesn't look too, I don't know, like straight across. I've been really enjoying these. I've gotten quite a bit of use out of this pair. I did have to trim them down quite a bit because they were very long, but yeah, here you go. All right, well, thank you so much for watching my palette bingo. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if there's any other palettes that you would like to see a bingo with. Or let me know if you've done a palette bingo that I should check out. I would love to watch. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.